Good evening, fuckers. We are back with the next Train Simulator Classic request video. This one it's another one of these videos that features the debuts of both the route and the loco. The loco, sort of. Yeah, I think this could be something a bit special. So, for the route, we are on the Sussex Lines, the West Coastway specifically. So, we will be starting at Littlehampton, with our destination being Brighton. We just left Brighton in the previous video, and now we're heading back there. The distance is just over 20 miles, so, I mean, it's a reasonable distance. It's not, like, really short. And our train is going to be the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 156. This is one of the most recently acquired Armstrong Powerhouse locos of mine. Now, the 156 has appeared in at least a couple of videos before now, but it was always the Dovetail Games version, because at the time that was all I had. I'm pretty sure it was always old Laserjet Jordan who would request it, presumably because he's ridden on Christ knows how many 156s. And yeah, the DTG one was, well, it was bearable, but to put it mildly, the AP version is a vast improvement. So we are in the, it's obviously a two-car 156, and it will have the provincial livery. I don't think the 156s ran on this particular line. I think if they did, I would have had a Network South East livery, and there isn't a Network South East livery for the 156, or at least not with this particular AP version. Right, so the specifics: it is summer, it is clear. I mean, it's the first time we're doing this route, so yeah, we want to be able to see how it looks. And it is 2:30 p.m. So yeah. That is the setup. Let's get this up and running. And here we are. So, well, let's get the train set up. So we need to get the lights done in particular. Right, that is, yeah, destination lights. Unfortunately, the destination board for this train does not include Brighton, so I can't show. I can't really set up the destination board. So let's take a look. Here we are. Here is our 156 with the Sprinter livery. I'm fairly sure. I thought I'd chosen the one that had Super Sprinter on the side. Not that it makes a hell of a lot of difference. So yeah, here we are at Littlehampton, which you can clearly see is the end of the line here. The other sort of starting area, if we are starting at this end of the line, is Ford, but yeah, I just there's not a great deal of difference. Ford is not it's not a terminus, but we rejoin the line that we would be on from Ford quite quickly, actually. So let's let everyone on board, not that there are a lot of people here. Now, a couple of things to point out. This line, or the route DLC, is unfinished. I can't remember exactly who it is that has done this route, but obviously I will put a link to it in the description as always. But yeah, they've said, yeah, it is unfinished. You can see here, you know, things like this. It is mostly the more sort of like distant objects that are lacking. Trackside objects are pretty good actually. So right, everyone's on. Watch how quickly the brakes disengage. Yeah, let's get underway. Set the clag factor to the maximum, although it's a fairly clean engine in the 156, so yeah, you're not going to be seeing a great deal of clag from this. So 25 mph as we leave the station. And normally if I'm doing a run on a line that is electrified, I prefer to yeah, I made the right balls over that. I prefer to use electric trains, but I did really want to have the AP 156 making its debut. The AP 150/2 will be appearing in the next video. We are now in the 70 zone. So yeah, you get a bit of clag there when you put it into notch 7. As it is, I can't really do that because we've got a 20 mph section coming up. So this is a big old train shed that we are going past. So you can see that, yeah, trackside, it's great, but then yeah, you get these big old open spaces with not much in there. That's one of the things that is going to be worked on. So it is an unfinished route. I'm pretty sure they will be adding to it. I think, I can't say with any certainty, but I think the plan is to do the whole of the like the Sussex coast lines. So going from Brighton right the way across through into Bognor Regis, and then right the way through going into Hampshire and into Portsmouth, or at the very least somehow getting the connection between Portsmouth and Southampton, because that is a section that is really sort of, I mean, it's missing from the game, but it really is a sort of serious oversight. There's no reason why the Portsmouth and Southampton connecting line is not in the game. So we turn off at this junction, and it's quite a long and quite a sharp right curve that we are taking. So you see again, on the trackside, it's fantastic, done an excellent job. You look at this freeware route and then you look back at the Netherfield Nottingham network video, yeah, it's insulting. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that route again. Yeah, a bit late to signal for the level crossing here, but there we go. Right, now we turn right again here. Can now go up to 30 mph actually, so let's do that. And while it is still a bit sort of dark and murky in the 156 cab here, it's nothing like as dark and as murky as it is in the DTG version. So anyway, we are now on the part of the route that we would be, if we'd started at Ford, we would be on here just as much as we are now. So there's not a great deal of difference between starting at Littlehampton and starting at Ford. You're still going to see pretty much everything that we can for now, or at least as far as like the new parts. I also think, again, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm sure I read somewhere that the plan is to extend eastwards. So whereas we are heading to Brighton and that's as far east as we can go, the plan is to continue it and take you out to, you know, Hastings and perhaps even further on from there, and eventually heading to somewhere like Ashford International. Now here, yeah, that's the only sort of like ballsed up part of the route there, where the yeah, the level crossing lights are actually in the middle of the level crossing and they come right through the train. That's the only bit that is sort of knackered like that. And this is still a work in progress, so I am certain that that will get fixed. I mean, to be honest, that fix there and the you know, the distant objects that are missing, that's all that is really needed to be done on the, you know, the route as it currently stands. Now, say the plans are to extend it further. So there's still quite a bit of work to come for you know, this particular route DLC, but I mean, it's a fantastic job done on it. I mean, I am a bit choosy about which freeware routes I download and you know, and install, but so far I have not come across a single freeware route that I've not been impressed with. So Angmering station coming up. I forgot to say we will be stopping at all stations. One thing we may see, especially as I'm probably going to have to brake harder than I am at the moment, we go up to step 3. Now we're fine, but as we get, you know, as the speed comes down, you'll see that the transmission system really does not like braking at step 3. Especially at very low speeds. So there you go. Yeah, they just flashed on there that yeah, problems with the transmission and the gearbox. So here, yeah, you can really see you know, distant objects missing on both sides. Nevertheless, here we are at Angmering. Can't say I'm familiar with the place. Now, this is as far as I have driven on this route so far, so everything else that we will be seeing will be completely new to me, as well as, well, assuming that anyone watching this has not seen this route before. You can see there's the yeah, the big old exhaust pipes there for the two cars. I don't know why the Class 156 was kept to two car only. When you consider that the original 150, the 150/0, I mean that was a three car. But yeah, two car trains did seem to be something of you know, the staple sort of layout for the entire 150 series. I mean, the 153 was obviously single car for the vast majority of it, but even those, there's more signs in the middle of the thing there. Even yeah, even the 153s could be coupled together to form two car trains. Goring by Sea is the next stop. Now it's, yeah, I have to admit that in some ways the requirements for this route are a bit hefty. That's because one of the requirements is the Dorset Coast route DLC from Golden Age Developments. They do specifically say that they only need the assets from it, so you don't have to actually have the entire route installed. But for me, if you're going to go to the effort of downloading and installing the Dorset Coast, you want to be able to, you know, actually drive the thing. You don't really want to just have it there for no other reason than for this route. And that really does increase your, you know, the requirements quite a bit. I mean, if you're happy to install a Dorset Coast and just use the assets for this route, then fair enough. The requirements are not that hefty. But I would not be all that keen on doing that. I'd much, you know, if I'm going to install a route, it's so I can drive it, you know. And thankfully, yeah, I already had the Dorset Coast route installed, so that was not an issue for me. And hopefully you'll have seen that video, so you'll know that the Dorset Coast route is fantastic and absolutely worth getting. Yeah, there we go. So here we are at Goring by Sea. So again, the distant objects are missing. So if you just kept your view to within the cab, you probably wouldn't notice a lot of the missing assets, especially if you're in this cab. Also, just realised I spent this whole time and I hadn't opened the windows. Always something I forget. get back underway. We don't have very far at all to go before we're at the next station. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, I do know it is pretty close by. There we are, Durrington on the Sea. It's 2/3 of a mile. Now this route does also contain the entire journey from Brighton to London Victoria, and I think it also contains Brighton to London Bridge. So yeah, you get quite a bit on this route. You're not just going to be doing this small section that I'm doing here. And the London to Brighton line is one of the requirements for this route, which I'm sure comes as a surprise to absolutely nobody. At least it certainly shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. So this is quite a short station, this one. So yeah, Durrington on Sea station. Again, you can see that there is some more work need doing, especially out around here. But for a route that is still a work in progress and is still very much unfinished, I'm certainly impressed with what is here. The other thing that I am really impressed with is the Armstrong Powerhouse version of the Class 156. It's a real sort of like workhorse emu, it's DMU rather, emu. It's a real sort of like, you know, no frills job. But that, you know, that's the sprinters all over, whether it's the 150, the 156, the 155, that was a particularly bad one. 153, 158, 159, you know, they were all built with that sort of whole idea. No frills, but, you know, it's you know, able to get from place to place with without any issues. And as far as that was concerned, they excelled. I mean, you would find 150s, 156, 158s, 159s all doing like intercity runs. I mean, granted not high speed, but they were still doing intercity services. So they absolutely, you know, nailed it as far as the design of all of those multiple units. And okay, the 155 was not a success, it was pretty terrible. But when they converted it to the 153, yeah, that absolutely transformed it. It was a much better train then. So even the unsuccessful one that the 155 was, even that still did really well. So they were great trains in real life, and yeah, the Dovetail Games version, the 156 was okay, but it was so dark and dingy in the cab that you did sort of yeah, it wasn't exactly a pleasure to drive the thing. The AP version is so much better. They've done a great job on this. And as good a job as they have done on the 156, I think the 150/2 is even better, which we will see in the next video. I don't yet have the 150/1, but yeah, I do have the 150/2, and it's great. It really is. So yeah, you can very much see the unfinished nature of the route there. So next stop is Worthing. Get a bit further along the station platform. That will do. So yeah, here we are at Worthing. Well, hopefully we can get a bit of speed up. I'm not sure what the next station is or how far away it is, but yeah, we've had quite a few stations that are all in rather quick succession, so I'm hoping that yeah, got a bit of a gap, we can get a bit of speed up in our trusty old 156 here. Well, clearly we're not going to be able to do that because East Worthing Station is already on the route display. It's just 2/3 of a mile down the line. this is a very short one, this one. So I'm going to keep this in step 3, not really what you want to do. You'll see, there you go. Train and gear fault lights lit up. Anyway, yes, here we are at East Worthing. Again, you can clearly see the work in progress. I mean, I have no reason at all to think that it won't get finished. And I also have no reason to think that it won't be fantastic when it is completed, because there's already enough here to convince me that this will be a great one when it's when it is you know, fully completed. Looks like we've got a bit of distance to the next station, so let's see if we can get the good old 156 up to speed. Well, maybe we're not, because Lancing is the next station and it's less than a mile away. Transmission is about to change. There you go. In fact, I just remembered one of the other route DLCs that is a requirement for this one is the Great Eastern Main Line, the Liverpool Street to Ipswich route, and that crops up in a hell of a lot of freeware routes. So if you are, you know, if you play this game and you are enough of a fan of it that you are wanting to pick up some of these freeware routes, then yeah, Great Eastern Main Line is a route DLC that you really want to be buying, because it's used in so many of them. So here we are at Lancing again. It's you can see they made a decent start of it, but yeah, still needs a lot of the you know, more distant objects done. But at least they've done it, you know, gone about it the right way. They've got the nearby objects sorted. So if you stick to the cab view like this, it looks absolutely fine. Right, get back underway. Okay, got a bit of a run here, and we may well be able to get some speed up. As soon as I say that, here we go. Shoreham by Sea is coming up next. This looks like an airport. Braking way too early there. Yeah, I think the water level needs sorting out there. Yeah, I think I stopped very early here, but it'll do. So anyway, yes, this is Shoreham by Sea. I'm more here than a lot of other stations. Still clearly see it's not yet finished, but what's there looks pretty good. I know the next station is not that far away. Here it comes on the route display now. That's Southwick. Or is it Southwick? It looks like we've got a few stations again in quite quick succession here. So Yeah, Southwick here, then Fisher's Gate. Of course we've got Hove coming up pretty soon. We're now less than 5 miles from Brighton. Again, I started braking far too early here. It is quite a small station here by the looks of it. Maybe not. Quite a bit that's been done to this stop here. Clearly see there is more still to be done, but yeah, there's a lot more done here than at a lot of other stations. It's just eat more pies. Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. Just trains Western Main Lines. Well, I have that route. Yorkshire Airlines, eye up and away. Yeah. Okay. That sounds like the doors are all shut. Yeah, they have. Onwards, so yeah, Fisher's Gate is next, and this is quite a small station. So after here we have Portsmouth. It looks like Portsmouth is quite a large station, certainly a downside bigger than this one we're approaching. Yeah, this one is really tiny. I think I'm going to, yeah. Well, it could have been worse, but yeah, definitely overshot it. So the rear carriage has opened, but yeah, this front car hasn't. So, Fisher's Gate, they've done a great job here. I don't think this needs much more done to it. Yeah, that's good stuff. So onward to yeah, Portsmouth. Yeah, they've really done a lot of the trackside stuff here. It's great. So, this is Portsmouth Station. Let's take a look at these station buildings. Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, that's much better done. Yeah, good stuff. Right, yeah, doors are all shut. I'm not sure what the next station is. It's not Hove yet, but I mean, Hove is certainly going to be fairly close by. We're less than 3 miles from Brighton now, so here he is. So Aldrington is next. And I'm sure Hove is the one after that. It is indeed. See, this is quite a small station again, so yeah, I think I'm going to have to put the brakes on a bit hard. Not quite that hard though. Okay, there we are. So, Aldrington. Yeah, really well here. Look how many, yeah, they definitely got, well, that side done. This side, I mean, it might be that this side doesn't need too much, but, yeah, done great here. So next stop is Hove, which is the penultimate stop of this run. So speed limit decreases down to 60 in just a quarter of a mile, which is fine. We've not really gone much above 60 at all on this particular run. As it is, yeah, Hove Station coming up really quick. So yeah, this is Hove, looking pretty good. So this is where my sister lives. I keep saying Brighton when I mean Hove. So onwards then to the final stop at Brighton, just under 1.5 miles. Yeah, the tunnel just clips slightly, but that, I think, yeah, they were already aware of that issue. I'll go right up to the buffers, but we'll get ourselves well and truly into the station. There we go. So, that was Littlehampton to Brighton in the class 156. Yeah, that was a great drive. Alright, yeah, you could see in several locations where the route is unfinished, but we knew it was unfinished anyway, so that's alright. Couple of areas that do need working on, say there's that tunnel that clips into the train cab just outside Hove, which again they knew about. I've seen them mention it in somewhere or other. And there were a couple of places, a couple of level crossings where the lights were right in the middle of the crossing rather than at either end of it. So yeah, the train went straight through them. But they are quite minor issues which I know will be fixed. They'll definitely get that sorted out. And yeah, of course they also have the plans to extend the line further. I mean, they're certainly not doing things by halves. You know, they plan on doing quite a hefty old route here. I mean, they've already got 20 miles done, and that is, you know, not a small feat by any stretch. I think they've done great so far, and I have no reason to think that they won't continue to do that well. So yeah, the route absolutely gets a recommendation from me. And then as for the Armstrong Powerhouse class 156, that is a great drive. It's so much better than the rather, shall we say, lackluster Dovetail Games version. This one is much better. A lot of people, and I am guilty of it myself, of rather dismissing the 156 as not being the most interesting or exciting of locos. This DLC, I think, will change your mind. You'll be wanting to drive this a hell of a lot more. It's a vast improvement on the Dovetail Games one. So yeah, great route and great loco. So yeah, pretty good all round. But there we are. That brings this video to an end. We will see you at the next one. Although not necessarily with my special guest behind me for the next one.